Amazon has Accelerate conference going on right now. This is the Q&A portion of the A Plus content, which is generally speaking where most of the best information comes out. I'm going to hit play.
Video capabilities are limited to the Launchpad programs and Premium A Plus programs. Launchpad is a specific program that's part of Amazon that's centered on unique products that entrepreneurs are looking to launch on Amazon. To get more information about Launchpad, go to amazon.com/launchpad.
Not a fan of Launchpad. Do not recommend it. Anybody who has been a client of mine who has used Launchpad before, basically they take a percentage of your revenue. They get you launched and then say good luck and still take your percentage of revenue, but don't really offer any additional aid. So not a fan of Launchpad.
You may do so by adding a video clip into the image block above the fold so that you can showcase a video clip of your product. To get more information about doing this, go to the Upload and Manage Video section in Seller Central. Another question we received is, how does A Plus content get moderated? Is it a person or AI filter?
Good question.
So the process of getting A Plus content moderated is that you set up your A Plus content, you submit it over to us. There's currently a 7 business day SLA to allow us to review the content.
It's more like 14, but okay.
Before it's approved or flagged. At which point we essentially will make a determination if it gets published to the detail page or not. As far as the processes and kind of the technologies that we use behind the scenes, it's a combination of both manual review by a human as well as some technologies to moderate the content.
From my experience, the robots are catching it based on text words, and the human is looking at the images. But there could be more to it than that.
Technology is in place and the process is in place to make sure that we're maintaining that high bar in content quality. Another question we often receive is there a fee to make use of A Plus content? Once you're a brand registered seller, you're able to make use of A Plus content features at no cost using the existing basic or standard modules that are available out there today. You're able to make.
They used to charge for A Plus content back when it was only on Vendor Central. Ever since Brand Registry 2.0 came out and A Plus content was available on Seller Central, there's been no charge. That'll probably never get reverted.
It's one seller at any given point in time to allow the throughput of other sellers who are submitting content to us. However, you're able to make as many edits to your existing content as you'd like throughout a given year.
We'll see what other questions they get. A couple of good.
Another question coming through, can we do more than one type of A/B test at a time? Yes, you can do more than one A/B test at a time. However, it'll be locked for specific sets of content. So if you're A/B testing 2 pieces of content, you can only run one A/B test at a time for those 2 pieces of content. You can't run multiple A/B tests against the same pieces of content concurrently. So if you're wanting to run an A/B test for 2 pieces of content, you can certainly do that. Let the experiment run for the duration, review the results. You can certainly make an edit to the.
From my experience, A/B testing for A Plus content, you're not going to have enough data unless you run it for about 30 days, unless you have a really high velocity A Plus content. So for you to try and test multiple things at the same time, wouldn't recommend it, not on the same A Plus content. Could you test one SKU and a second SKU and run 2 different tests between them? Yeah, definitely.
Another question, does text and A Plus content help with search relevance, SEO for my products? We can't speak to the specific operation of any given search engine. However, our best practices for A Plus content include the following. Make use of the available text fields that are built into each of the modules. Limit the amount of text that you're embedding in images. If you have to embed text in images, make sure it's vibrant, larger.
I very much agree with his sentiment here. Text is good, especially if you're in a category that doesn't have medical claims. Anything that's related to medical claims, supplements, medical industry, you want to have less text because more text allows your A Plus content to get yanked, and that can be a challenge. What I'm hoping he's going to address is whether they index A Plus content photos. They're on the record saying it doesn't. I believe that's false, and we've tested Spanish and A Plus content alt text, and it has indexed. So We'll see what he does here.
Description. It doesn't have to be anything lengthy, and you don't have to try and repeat your brand over and over in the image keywords. That does not help with searchability, discoverability, related aspects of content.
So we kind of answered the question, but kind of
not. And then
not.
lastly,
I do think that alt text still is indexed. He kind of skirted around it. He's like, don't keyword stuff, which, that's actually a good recommendation, even if they did index, but he didn't answer it directly.
So we want to make sure that's up to date as possible. Also, with image keywords, just to touch back on that, there's an element of accessibility as well. So if you succinctly describe what's being shown in a given image, that will help with accessibility for our customers who have sight impairments, that the screen reading technology that they may make use of will describe what's being shown in the image for them and will help to improve the customer experience. Next question. Do I have to be a professional seller to make use of A+ content features? You have to be a brand registered seller.
If you don't have a pro account by now and you're trying to sell on Amazon, you should throw the towel in. Like, you got to have a pro account, guys. Come on.
In order to do this, you go through the brand services.amazon.com/eligibility, as I previously mentioned, to make sure that you're a brand registered professional seller. You can have a selling role of a brand representative if you want to make use of A+ content features. Let's see, another question. I own my brand and company, which is registered as LLC. Can I register my brand with Amazon without registering trademark for my brand? You have to go through the brand registry tools that are available on the brandservices.amazon.com/eligibility to learn a little bit more about how that works.
I think the question was that the questioner was trying to ask is, can he, take his trademark name that has the phrase LLC in it, but sell under or without the LLC? And the answer is no. Trademarks have to be exact match for your brand registry and brand name, so don't get that one wrong. Go file a new trademark if you have to.
HTML and A+ content is strictly prohibited, as is including any animated GIF images or animated PNG images. We will block that content. The primary reason being that we want to make sure that we're providing an optimal customer experience, so that the customer has a quick load, detail page load time, and the rich content and text that's being presented in A+ is of a high quality and performs well.
So that one's interesting. I actually didn't know I knew they couldn't use GIFs, but they didn't know they blocked it. Or people were trying to skirt
all
that.
The major questions.
All right, so that was the question Q&A session coming out of A+ content. If you go back and watch, and I'll put a link in the description, not a lot of meat and potatoes, very, very basic tutorial on what A+ content was. So you didn't miss anything if you already have A+ content up, basically, in my opinion. But kind of interesting to see their Q&A and see what comes out of it. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy, and if you need any Amazon consulting, go over to myamazonguy.com. We sell A+ content for $500, and it's a full service, everything from the SEO and the design fully implemented into it. So just go to myamazonguy.com, click on this design button, and you can see we sell A+ content with a ton of great information, FAQs, and design examples that we've done. All right, thanks for watching, and go check out other Amazon Accelerates conference topics this week.